how it was passed down by word of mouth. Okay.
Well, no, they had the writings. They had the writings by these men. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were the original authors. They didn't just now Muhammad. Now Muhammad is interesting because Muhammad was illiterate, so he didn't have the capability to write anything down. He had people write stuff down for him.
Right. Because
in the case of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they wrote the account themselves, and you're right. Scribes wrote it later, copying what they wrote. So the reason we have a copy on top of a copy on top of a copy is because we had dedicated scribes, Jewish scribes, who would dedicate themselves to that scripture. Okay?
I'm saying, the only thing that I was saying is that it's still open even for the scribes, even though they have whatever it is in front of them. It's still open to interpretation, and that's where I won't say religious Jews, but Jewish believers accept the fact that God wrote the Torah. It's only one version of the Torah, and that's it. Within the gospel, you have different interpretations of things depending upon how the disciples wrote down what they saw. Okay.
Okay.
There are certain portions.
So what do you mean? What do you mean interpretations? Just explain that to me.
You know, John might have seen things differently from Luke. Okay.
Sure.
Or Matthew. All right.
So you're saying a different account, not.
Yes.
Not.
Yes, a different account.
Yeah, there's a different account. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what prevents many Jewish people from believing in the New Testament, or maybe even believing in Jesus, because they say, well, even the disciples couldn't get it. They couldn't form a general consensus. I know, speaking for myself, I know that for you, everything is faith.
No. Well, I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, I do have faith in God.
You accept on faith. I know that there's going to be something wrong with what I'm saying, but I
just want to clarify. I just want to clarify, Mark. It's not. See, when people hear the word faith, they automatically, and I get this a lot from atheists. Okay, by the way, which is why I want to mention it. When they hear the word faith, they think, okay, well, it's blind. You just accept it, even if you can't see it. What I'm saying is my faith is much stronger than that. It's not based merely on blind chance. It's also based on the evidences that we have about God, the correct interpretation of the Scripture. Felix has this issue. How do I know I can trust the New Testament? Well, you have to know. You got to become somewhat of a theologian. You can't just say, okay, New Testament, lots of interpretations. Whoa, hold on, slow down. There's a lot of logistics that go into that. There's language and writings and historical documents. There's cross-references. There are the fact that we have more manuscripts than any book of antiquity in the world. Okay, all that's got to be taken into effect. This isn't just us taking a chance. This is irrefutable evidence that the scriptures that we have are reliable, historical source of the truth. And you can trust the interpretation. If you can't interpret yourself, you got to have a preacher or a teacher of the word be able to explain to you what it means. I mean, you guys wouldn't know what Ephesians 2:8-9 was unless somebody like myself explained it to you. Okay? And then you have to trust, and you got to do your own research, why he came to that conclusion. So it's not just, oh, well, there it is. Too bad. I don't know. One guy's got one opinion, one guy's got the other. No. Find out who's right. And there is a right answer. That's what we should be thanking God for. There's a right answer in the interpretation of the scriptures.
So why do you think there are so many wrong answers? Obviously, you're in the minority, so why are you...
Because because of what Romans chapter 1, verse 18 through 20 says. Because man knows the truth about God, but they suppress the truth in unrighteousness. In other words, some people just flat out are ignorant. There's actually Bible verses to back that up. I can't reference them. Okay? Some people are just completely ignorant. They think they're doing God's will, but in reality, they're far from God. And they come up with their own religion. Some people hate God, and they hate the truth, and they come up with their own religion against God. So what you have is you have a bunch of religions that relate itself to God but are completely wrong, and then you have opposite religions that are wrong anyway. There's only one right answer. Here's the thing, Felix, and I know this is hard to understand, but the truth is they can't all be right either. So somebody is wrong. Maybe they're thinking, well, maybe all of them are wrong. Oh, no. The Bible is the only book that confirms reality. It tells us the truth about reality. It tells us the truth about us. It tells us the truth about creation. It tells us the truth about prophecy, about Jesus, about atonement, love, sacrifice. No other book in history has ever done what the Bible has done. Nothing. Nothing even comes close to it. I'm going to send you guys a link to some great apologists who get into this topic that I think would give you a way better answer than me. But Felix, you can trust that the Bible is a very good source of knowledge about God and about man. And it really answers the age-old question, who are we? Why are we here? Who is God? What does he want? How are we related to man? What's the purpose of life? Okay,
90
the Bible
seconds.
answers those questions.
Okay. We only have like a minute left. That's what the announcement just said. So if you could send that to us, I mean, if you could send us a couple of names of authors, it gives us something to look into, and we can continue this next Friday.
I think that'd be fun.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. It's good to talk to you. I hope that all health and for you guys. I know that you've been going through some trials, and I guess we'll be.
Hope you have
we'll be talking to you real soon.
I hope you have a great Easter with the family on Sunday, and make sure that the girls and your wife wear some nice bonnets. Take some pictures because
Indeed.
And color up those eggs and hide them from the kids. We used to we did that, believe it or not. We used to do that. Had a friend, and we used to do that. Kids loved it, Anyway, gotta go. Chad, it was a pleasure speaking with you, as always.
Indeed, as always.
All right, have a good one.
Guys.
Hope to hear from you next week.
Take care.
All right, take care.
10 seconds.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next Friday.